Come with me to get laid off.
Your position will be eliminated effective today. All your efforts
All right, so I just finished my official last Microsoft email. I'm gonna read it to y'all, but some other people on my team sent these emails around the company, so I just wanted to send my version. So the subject of it is from grad to growth. Thank you. With the little colon in there. Then it says, "Dear team, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to share that my role at Microsoft has been eliminated. This moment is especially meaningful to me as it comes during the same week I graduated with my bachelor's degree just 1 year ago. For someone from my community, earning that degree was a milestone in itself, and getting to kick my career off at Microsoft has been an incredible privilege," which it really has. Like, not many people make it to a position that I made it to, and I'm just super, super grateful for that, like I've said. But, I just wanted to express that quickly in this little email. And then, so it's been an incredible privilege following the internships I did here, because, I did 3 internships at Microsoft too, so you never know. And I've learned so much, grown in many ways I never imagined, and had the chance to work alongside some truly inspiring people. Thank you all for being a part of this chapter. Your support, collaboration, and kindness have left a lasting impact on me, and I'll carry those lessons forward as I continue my journey. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited for what's next. I love to stay in touch. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. If anything about our time working together stood out to you, a recommendation or any support here would mean the world as I take my next leap forward. With gratitude, then I sign my name. But yeah, that's how you sign out of a job, I feel like. I think I did pretty good. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. But yeah, about to go get me something to eat, and then we're gonna go to the park, and I'll give y'all the full reflection, full breakdown of how I'm feeling, and how everything kind of went down. I'm gonna just give y'all the game on that. So all right, I'm out here gonna give y'all the full reflection of the whole layoff. It's about 8 o'clock. We got the good Texas sunset going on, a little lake vibes. We just out here chilling, about to go run a little bit, but about to just give y'all a little walkthrough about how I'm feeling, how other people around my team were feeling, how everything kind of happened, and yeah, just so y'all can get the background, understand how I feel right now, understand what I plan to do going forward, and how I'm processing everything, and maybe give y'all some insight into how some of the people older than me are processing it, and what their plans are for going forward. Just to give y'all that good information, good game like always. But more than anything, subscribe right now, stay tuned with me on this journey. But yeah, let's get into it. So I got on my meeting today. I'm a product manager at Microsoft. I got meetings every day. That's one of the most time-consuming things that I do, is just meet with people and talk about strategy, talk about different things, updates and whatever. Today I had what was called a sprint. A sprint is like in Agile, which Agile is like a type of way to work. It's a way you can manage work. You know what I'm saying? When you got teams of hundreds, thousands of people working on software code, specifically trying to manage how that code is released, and when you work on this and how you prioritize this piece of work, putting a button at the top of the screen, or even making sure you got that little X at the top right to click out of the browser. Like, somebody had to code that. So like, how you manage the innovation of those different features and all of that, like, you got to put all that into what's called an agile methodology. You know what I'm saying? That's how they manage everything. But besides that, within that, we have a sprint. A sprint is just 3 weeks of work. So you work sprints at a time. So 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, and you try to get stuff done in 3 weeks. But today we had sprint planning, and I'm, the sprint planning person today. So I had to run this meeting up to say like, hey, what should we do this sprint? And, what did we do last sprint? And how did everything go? Like, did we complete all of the stuff we wanted to complete last sprint? And then are we going to be able to complete the stuff we want to do in the next sprint, And I had that meeting at it was like 10 a.m. It started at like 10 a.m. And halfway through that meeting, or like halfway on my calendar, halfway through that meeting, I get another meeting invite that's like critical business attendance required. I'm like, oh man, it's over for your boy. I already knew. But then when I click on a meeting, they're like supposed to, like hide the names of everybody on the meeting, but I could see the names on the meeting. So I saw my whole team's name on there. So I'm like, oh, I already know, like our whole team's probably fired. So then when I get in the meeting, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to run the meeting to talk about the work of last sprint and the work of the next sprint. But I'm like, man, it might be no sprint now. You know what I'm saying? Now it might just be time to close the laptop, which it ended up being. But I get on there, I'm like, hey team, like, do y'all want to talk about the next sprint, or do y'all want to talk about this meeting invite that we all just got? And they was like, basically, let's talk about this meeting invite. And so, we started floating a memo around that we probably are getting laid off and, this and this and that. But, the real comfort in it was it's people on my team that's been working there for 20 years, 15 years, 5-year anniversary just hit, people that's gotten promotions recently, while we've been on this team, while I've been working here within the 9 months I've been working there since August. And, I've seen these people grow and progress, and nobody was seemed like they were underperforming or anything. And, you've been here for 23 years, you're definitely valuable to the company, in my opinion. And for them to be on the same phone call as me to say that they're getting laid off the same way I'm getting laid off, that was the main shocker to me, because I'm new to this. I don't know how to feel. And then I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, 23 years, 20 years at Microsoft, that's a long time. And I'm just happy to be here in the 9 months that I got to spend at the company and learn about AI, learn how to ship features, learn how to, be a product manager, even learn a lot of engineering concepts too of how you can build complex artificial intelligence systems. And so I was like, man, I'm just overall grateful, other people, they have children, they have families, I just graduated college last May. There's nothing better I could have done with my time than do what I just did, and I don't feel like I lost anything from that. I feel like I gained so much, learned so much, made so many connections, really proved in the market sense that I was able to deliver, code and software that's valuable to people. I really put out good work, especially in the AI space. I was able to launch AI features that I've never been launching in the platforms they have before. I was jumping into AI agents and all kind of stuff. And so you seeing all the headlines of the innovations happening in the industry, and I felt like I was contributing to that, But going back to all the laid off stuff, at the end of the day, with companies like that, there's just nothing you can do, and that's the thing you have to realize. In that meeting invite, there were over 200 people. Over 200 people in my organization and around got fired in a single meeting. Hey, I'm not saying that I deserved a better explanation, but I think if you've been at the company 20 plus years, you deserve something better than a 30-minute meeting to explain to you what you're fired and what to do next. I think you deserve more than that, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, this is the reality of the tech industry, and I have to be here to give y'all the real so you can understand, things move fast. Our team was in the middle of a reorg, which a reorg is short for reorganization, and, there were leadership above us that, either retired or moved around, so there was a lot of switching going on. And, sometimes businesses, they make decisions to where, hey, it's a lot more costly for us to onboard this entire organization and combine these two organizations versus cutting the entire organization we're trying to move, and then you can let them decide. We'll put out job postings for the openings we have, and some of those people will come back and return to a job at Microsoft, others will not. It's a great way to kind of, filter the water. Sometimes a company just has to do that, and that's what was done. They just was we're trying to really focus on this Copilot stuff, and so if you're not really contributing to that directly that we can see and I value, then you get filtered out. And even if you were I worked on a lot of Copilot AI related stuff, and even I got cut, so I think it's not, like I said at the beginning, it has nothing to do with you. There's nothing you could have done, but what are you gonna do to move forward? Let's talk about that. So, now obviously y'all see me on a YouTube video, about to drop this tomorrow, really. So y'all gonna get that in real time. About to get more active on here, more active on the videos. I still got videos from Japan, but now I got time to edit them. So I'm about to get all that stuff put out. You know what I'm saying? We got Next One Management. We have other avenues that I've always been cultivating in this entire time that I've been working this job. I never had one complete source of income and completely relied on that too. It's if I completely relied on this one job that I could get laid off from at any point, that's risky to me. So I'm like, man, that's why I always continued. You got your 9 to 5. What are you doing 5 to 9? What are you doing at 3 a.m.? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm learning, and I got other businesses and other ventures that I'm cultivating and investing in. And you got to save your money. You got to do all the right things and make sure you're not overspending and living in these crazy lifestyles and trying to keep up with people, because this is how you get played out your position. And I was put into a very great position, and I'm so grateful for the position that I was granted to work at a Fortune 3 company, $1 trillion company, and really learn the insides and learn the ins and outs and be able to take that and apply that to my own businesses or apply that to any career I pursue in the future. Like, I'm forever grateful for that experience, and they cannot take the knowledge that I've gained away from me. So at the end of the day, fair transaction. You got to keep your head up. You got to have a plan for what's next, because you never know. And if you're in corporate America, make sure you have a plan and you think sometimes about, hey, what would I do if this did happen? You just got to think about it, plan it out so that you're ready in case that day ever comes. Because like I said, you may never know, and you'll never know when until that little Teams invite gets put on your calendar and you just like, is it over? Until it is. But yeah, that's my little rant for today. I'm finna go for a little run around the lake. Sun setting. It's been real, y'all.